It has been a long week for Dusty. First, Sheriff Jackson had ridden them hard, chasing the Delaney boys over some rough terrain. 4 days and nights the sheriff had chased them, killing John Delaney, the youngest brother, before losing the rest of the group in Devil's Canyon. For those 4 days, Dusty had barely had enough oats to eat, and for 2 days he had gone without water entirely. As they started getting into the dry territory to the southwest of Sandy Flats, their outpost town, the sheriff had ridden back to Sandy Flats dejected that 4 of the Delaney boys had escaped, and he had hit the bottle pretty hard that night at the saloon. Dusty stood outside the saloon at the trough, drinking so much his sides began to ache. He slowed his drinking and faded into the light doze as he waited for Sheriff Jackson to come back out. And he did, eventually, so drunk that he couldn't even hold himself up straight, let alone get into the saddle. Dusty tossed his head and gave an exacerbated whinny. He led the sheriff half stumbling back to his room behind the jailhouse. At least there wasn't anyone in the cell right now, so Sheriff could sleep this off in peace. Dusty woke with a start in the middle of the night. A tremendous crash came from inside the sheriff's room. It was pitch black, but he could just make out the barest outline of a body lying on the floor. Apparently, the sheriff had fallen out of bed. But something wasn't quite right. He sniffed the air. It was assaulted by a combination of piss, shit, and a tangy odor of blood. He whinnied, but Sheriff Jackson didn't move. Dusty moved away from the window and went back to sleep. When Dusty woke again, it was light, and he walked back to the sheriff's window. The crash he had heard was the sheriff toppling a huge pot-belly stove onto himself in some sort of drunken stupor. The man's head had been crushed. Had Dusty been human, he would have cried, but being a horse, recognizing his owner was dead, he wandered into town, head down as he trod. He stopped at the saloon, and he realized that there was still music playing, though softer and slower than it had been last night. It was sad music, and it matched how Dusty felt exactly. And so the horse walked into the bar, ignoring the stares. He got to the bar and looked mournfully at Sam, who had been one of Sheriff Jackson's best friends. The bartender looked at him and asked, "Why the long face?" This has been the best response to the prompt, "Give a dark backstory to a classic joke," from r/writing prompts. The original story is by newenglandredshirt, and the prompt is by TheEvilSnuffleupagus. Links to their profiles and the original story can be found in the description, as well as links to my Twitter, Twitch. If you want your stories to be heard or read aloud, send me a link and I can see what I can do. Plus, it'll give you a little bit of awareness. If you like what I do, leave a like, leave a comment. If you really like what I do, subscribe. It really helps out a lot. I post new content, or I try to post new content every day. Maybe twice a day, sometimes. But otherwise, thank you for reading or watching or listening or whatever you happen to be doing. I hope you have a wonderful day.